Good evening. I'm here with another video, and this time I wanted to talk about what is the big deal with performance. And specifically, I'm talking about powerful aspects of performance, like speed, power, um, technique. What is this thing that marvels us at being impressed? And the best place to start is sports. But I'm gonna start. And it's coming. Now I know Fast and Furious, the movie, the first movie, that it really. I mean, it really. I gotta say, it gave a face to the whole street racing culture. It glorified street racing. Now obviously I'm not in favor of glorifying street racing, and I'll be honest, if I'm watching something personally, I love watching Fast and Furious as it is a movie, and it's not a documentary. It's a movie, but I like watching actual track racing, whether it's drag racing or on a circuit, whether it's the highest performing NASCAR vehicles, or to be honest, I watched an old, I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was a show where it was all in Japanese, and they had subtitles. So I was reading the subtitles, and there would be like hour segments or 45-minute segments, right? No commercials, straight. And and granted, they were very old. I mean, I'm thinking late 90s most likely. But it was an old tape. I don't know where somebody found it, and it were like 12 to 15 episodes. And it was all about Japanese cars racing at that time. And I think the highest they went up to was like I think like certain Nissan vehicles, and I think even Lexus. But and they did, and it was very good. They did the whole show on it. What they would do is they would actually first they would go over the vehicle, right? They did Honda S2000, they did Honda Civics, they did some Nissans. I don't know if they had Infinity at that time, and if they did Infinity, I'm not sure. What else did they have? Subaru Impreza was a big one in there. And basically, they would give you an introduction to the vehicle, talk about it, the power, whatever they would talk about. Then I believe they would take it for a spin around the track. I think they did one or two laps around the track. And I think maybe the laps lasted around 2 minutes. At the end of it, they would the driver would the driver would rate the vehicle based on performance and everything, and his take on it. And these guys were like they were actually that was their thing, to go on the track and race cars. So they were very good at it, and they had good knowledge. And then they would give feedback on the vehicle. At the end of the thing, I believe it'd be about three or four vehicles, usually three, yeah, maybe three or four, maybe just three vehicles. And there'd be a Toyota, a Honda, a Subaru, or whatnot. And then they would race them, and then you would see which car was faster, which car was. You watched the actual race from every angle, and you found out which car was the best, and whatnot. Now, I watch that, and every now and then, sometimes something will come up with NASCAR or whatever, and I enjoy watching NASCAR just as much as I enjoyed watching that stuff. But I mean, NASCAR is relevant to today, starting from today. That was before, and there are other circuits that you can watch. But now back to the whole. Why I chose that, because when you think of speed, performance, power, you're talking about car racing, okay? Horses are great, but cars have more horsepower, okay? Sorry. Cars have, you know, horsepower is what they call it, and it's power. It's how much power is in the engine, how fast it can go, how much does the car weigh. And then you got the race car driver. How crafty is he? How is he around the turns? You know what I mean? Sorry, that old show, I think all the vehicles were manual. I don't think they had any automatics, but maybe the rare time they did an auto Lexus or something. But back to the point, I mean, yeah, I know people will say, well, what about sprinting? What about the Olympics? What about swimming? What about basketball? What about soccer? No, no. Listen, man, if you really, it's cars. Okay, why? Because everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people drive cars on a daily basis. Okay, they drive down highways. They drive down small streets, and sometimes people are in a rush. Almost everybody has been in a rush at some point in their vehicle. Maybe they were late to an event or work or something or school, and they had to rush, and maybe they went a little over the speed limit. Remember, just don't go too much over it. Go a little bit over it, and you're still fine. Don't go 40 or 50 kilometers or 50 miles over the speed limit. Anyways, it's okay to go a little over the speed limit. And and they started, they might shift. Please don't do this if you're not too good at it, but they would shift lanes and stuff like that in order to get ahead and get on time and whatnot. Some people just do it for fun. They love getting places fast. But that was the best example I had. Now moving on, when it comes to power, speed, performance, and everything, we can relate it to almost anything. Our culture as people on here, as people, our culture is all about is all about speed, power, and performance. We're impressed by these things, even if it's a fictional movie like Fast and the Furious. We love watching it because we love seeing that shit about power, even though it's not. It is real stunt drivers, but either way, even if it's fiction, we love seeing power, speed, performance. I'm a big guy when it comes to that. I had bought before every single Fast and Furious movie I could get. The first four I got were actual Blu-ray like collectors, and then I got three others that were a little bit like anyways, the point is, I mean, I'm a big time. I love that stuff. Even when I was younger, I'd see, whether it was sports or whatever it was, but we're so obsessed with technique, performance, and everything. You watch I remember watching Ronaldinho play soccer. Okay, it was beautiful. And then he would feed Ronaldo those passes, and Ronaldo would always hit on point. He was a striker. He would always score. The two of them were like beloved outside of Brazil. And, they were Brazilian players, but outside of Brazil, all over the world, Ronaldo and Ronaldinho were so loved. And I don't know why it is. Maybe it was just their personality. Maybe it was their gameplay. But we as human beings, we give respect even to power, to speed, to performance, to technique. You watch a boxing match, and I mean, come on, man. Whether it's Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson was all about power and speed. Ali was all about technique and performance. I mean, we cherish these people till this day. People are watching their fights from 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and we're impressed by these things. The Olympics is all about power, speed, and performance. We rate each other on power, speed, and performance. Even in the kitchen, if you guys are cooking. Believe me, they are guys who are working fast, or technically they're much on a faster level. We watch it and we go, wow, move that guy up, man. Give that guy a promotion. I've seen it happen, by the way. I've seen it happen in a short amount of time. I've seen guys and girls come in who were so above the grade and performed so well that they literally got promotions right away. And I've seen that. And that can be attributed to anything. I mean, there's people who type on a keyboard and they're typing 120 words a minute at the age of 14, 15 years old already. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a huge thing. If people are watching you, your class, let's say you take a business class and you guys are doing typing, and people don't believe it. They think you're cheated, and then they actually watch you and they see how freaking impressively fast you are. I mean, everybody just goes, wow. You're doing a little math timetable test. Everybody's looking at you like, wow, how the hell did you do that? You know what I mean? You got witches saying to you, are you a magician? I mean, or are you doing black magic because you're on a much higher level? It's like, no, I'm not on any of that. I just believe in good, organic, natural foods, natural lives, being healthy, being happy and healthy needs to go together. And if every now and then you impress, it's good. But I'm kind of past that. I'm not dying to impress every time and show how good I am. I did a lot of that when I was a child and when I was a teenager. And I'm a I'm an adult now, and I'm not doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Every now and then I love to impress, but I'm more but yeah, to this day, old, young, man, woman, boy, girl, anything, even animals. Animals are impressed by speed, performance, and technique. You don't think the horses know which horse won and how fast he was? You don't think horses realize that? You don't think dogs, when they go to those high dog contests where they pick like the best trained dogs and they put them through those circuits and all that, where they got to do all those things? You don't think dogs realize, like, look at another dog and go, wow? You don't think a terrier might look at a pit bull and be like, holy, I don't want to mess with you, man. You're a pit bull, okay? Everywhere on this planet, speed, performance, technique, power, they kill, and we are impressed by it. Everybody is impressed by it. Fish are impressed by it. Lions are impressed by it, but it goes on and on and on and on. Okay, it's a big deal, and you know what? I'll tell you something. So you don't need to become mastered, or you don't need to do that to be a master at anything or to master anything. You don't need that at all. I'll tell you right now, you don't need it. But if you show it and it's impressive, I'll tell you, you will impress, and it will put you a cut above the rest. And it's always good to do it early on. You'll notice athletes retire at age like by 32, 30, 35. The greatest athletes have retired. They move on from it. Once you've shown it, you move on from it. You got to get into the real life. And the real life for adults in our adult world is not playing, but it's coaching. It's training. It's designing vehicles. What else? It's training people and certifying people. It's working in different areas, because the older you get, you kind of leave that and you go on, and then it's a different kind of world. It's a whole different methodical game, and I haven't broken it down or even thought about it, but that's way ahead of where I am right now. I'm not gonna get into that, but as far as we are here. Like I said, initially, when you do anything, speed, performance, technique, and power will are proven to show you, to put you ahead of the general pack. And once you're ahead of the general pack, you continue, and then eventually you get onto something a little bit more methodical, where that's not involved, and you're on a different, I wouldn't say on a higher level, but a different level, because obviously you moved on for that and you got a different kind of thing going on. Maybe you're designing, creating, whatever you're doing, training, coaching. Anyways, I'm done. I want to say good evening to you again, and I'm wrapping it up.